What's up, everybody? Here we are, 2 weeks later. I know. I'm sorry it's been 2 weeks. I kind of just go at the pace of when I find a good stack of records. Sometimes it could take 2 weeks. Sometimes it happens within days of me filming a video. Just all depends. So the wait is over. I have another big stack to show. Before we get into all of that, I hope everybody's been good. Hope everyone's been, keeping relaxed, keeping safe. Hope everyone is doing good. And also, thank you guys so much. Each and every one of you. I recently hit 500 subscribers. I'm like right at 500. So this could go under by the time I post this. I don't know. Regardless, thank you to everyone who has commented, liked, watched, subscribed to all of my videos. I mean, I kind of just started doing this just to show off some music that I love, that I'm picking up, that I'm listening to. And that's it. And that's still what I'm doing. And I don't know. I'm very surprised that 500 people are enjoying that. But thank you guys to each and every one of you. I've said it before. I don't do this for the subscriptions or the likes or the views or anything like that. I just love music. I love to show music. I love to teach people about music that they might not know. And I love exploring music. That is one of the biggest driving factors for me in collecting records is the exploration behind it. I love the thrill of the chase too for original stuff, but the amount of music that I've learned from the VC, from just going out to stores, just talking to shop owners, like that is invaluable to me. I love the knowledge of new music. That is why I do this, because hopefully I can pass on some of that knowledge to you guys. Or we can just talk about albums that we love, that you guys already know too. But I also want to give a big thank you to my good friend Twan. Twan lives out here. He lives really close to me, actually. He did me a big solid and picked up a few albums, really big albums that I've been looking for a long time, and he held on to them. And then when I got the opportunity, I paid him back for them, gave him some other records. So thanks, man. I know you're watching this. Thank you. And then I also want to give a couple more shout outs. I don't know why I don't shout out people more. Sometimes I get going with videos and my brain just lapses. But I want to give a shout out to Soren Vinyl. He's a younger guy. I don't know his subscriber count right now. I think it's a bit low, but I think he deserves a lot more love than that. Like I said, younger guy, but a great taste in psych rock and rock in general. I know that he's into jazz a little bit. He's into funk a little bit. Always showing great stuff over on his channel. I'll link his channel below. Go give him, a subscription, some views, some likes. He deserves it. And then also, Dan from over at Dan's Vinyl Corner. Another great channel. Just a wealth of knowledge, Dan is. Always showing great records. Great taste in jazz. Great taste in rock. I think he's starting to get into some blues now. I love blues music. Just really great info over on his channel. Also go and give him some views, some likes, some comments. I'll link both of those below. So those two channels are really great. Let's get in to this stack of records. I'm not going to pick it up. We'll just go with it. I will say this before we start. It is mostly jazz. So again, if jazz is not your thing, if you don't want to see jazz records, stick around for the first few minutes. Then you can head on out. It's up to you. Rest is jazz. But let's go ahead and get into this. First one, Defrosted by Frigid Pink. Their second album on this later Parrot label. This one you don't see too much. I see their first one sometimes, the pink cover with the same kind of lettering like this, but it's pink and they're all sitting right here. This is their second album. This has like a foil cover, and you just don't see it nearly as much as their first. I mean, their first is a pretty common record, but just a great blues rock album. Another one. If you like their first album and you haven't heard this one, check this one out. It's really good. I got this for like $5. It's got a tear from like here to here. The record isn't great, but $5, I'll take it. some more blues rock. This one I just got today, actually. I was just in a shop hanging out for a little while, and this one just happened to drop on by. It had been on my list, and it's one I didn't really think that I would see for a while. And this is Shakedown by the Savoy Brown Blues Band. Now, a lot of us know Savoy Brown from their later albums. You know, they're pretty easily findable on the Parrot label. Things like Looking In that I've shown on here before. I love that album. But this is their very first album. And the thing about this album is it was only released in the UK. So this is on Decca. This is a first stereo UK pressing. Just, you don't see it. And it popped in, and I'd already spent so much on records at this point, and I was like, I don't know when I'll see another one of those. So I grabbed it. Great album. It's a lot of covers, but I really love the guitar playing on this album, and it's pretty rare. So couldn't leave without it. Really great record. Check it out if you like Savoy Brown at all. Just a good record. Now I've only got two more for the rock-ish area. Both are big hitters. Both I cannot believe I have in my collection right now. One I've already posted on my Instagram. Maybe I'll link that below. I don't know. But if, I guess I will, because I like talking to people on there. If you want to come over and talk to me there, I'm down for it all the time. Talk about music, talk about whatever. This is my latest post on Instagram. It is a record I am so stoked to have. And that is Last Night Blues by Lightnin' Hopkins with Sonny Terry. Original pressing on Prestige Bluesville. Now, the kicker about this one, preview copy. But the jacket is also just like amazingly clean. It's like, whew, that's crazy. The record, I wish was as clean as the jacket. Not that it's, you know, in bad shape. It just has some marks on it that causes a little bit of noise here and there. And you know, it's an acoustic blues album with harmonica and vocals and stuff, but cannot believe I have this. In my opinion, one of the harder Lightnin' Hopkins records to find. I got this offline on eBay. I sold some records off my Instagram, and immediately went over and bought it. Well, I shot the guy an offer, and he took it, so yeah. Very, very stoked. This is a great album sonically. One of Lightnin's best on this one. Amazing album. I really want to get the rest of his Bluesville stuff. I'm going to try and work on it. Now, this next one just happened randomly. Same store I got the Savoy Brown from, Georgetown Records in Seattle. I also got this one. They posted it on their Instagram. I called them up. I said, is it still there? How much is it? And the shop owner, Martin, he was like, yeah, it's still here. He's like, it's $90. I was like, I'm going to come by and grab it. And he held it for me. And yeah, I keep pulling this one off the shelf. I'm like, I have this record now. That is Brighter Later by Nick Drake. 1976 UK pressing on the textured cover. I don't know if you can see that. See how it's like crossing here. Yeah, I cannot believe I have this record. And a UK pressing at that. I thought maybe if I would ever have it, it'd be US pressing, but a UK is even sweeter for me. I believe that they still use the original stampers for this copy too. It sounds amazing. It's super clean. But yeah, I mean, if you don't know Nick Drake, a folk artist, folk rock artist, Pink Moon is a really popular album of his. This is his second album. I find this to be less dreary as like Pink Moon. It's a lot happier, a lot more vibrant, a little funky at times, but still has that you know, that kind of that sad edge to it that Pink Moon does a little bit. You can hear it in his voice. He does have a very sad sounding voice, but this is a great record. If you don't know this, but you know Pink Moon, check this one out. It's a little bit different, but I think you would still like it. It's a great, great album. Okay, this is the part of the video we're getting into jazz. Kind of a large stack, really amazing stuff at the end. So if you like jazz and you like amazing jazz, stick around to the end. I mean, not that anything before that isn't amazing, but the last ones are stuff that you just don't really see. First one up, we got Sugar by Stanley Turrentine on CTI. I absolutely hate this cover. I think it's disgusting. There is a misprint version out there with just this lady's face on the front and the back. I would much rather have that version. Like, why? Why is this a cover? Regardless of the horrible cover, it's a great album. You've got Stanley Turrentine, Ron Carter, George Benson, and Freddie Hubbard. This is early CTI stuff. This is very much a soul jazzy modal session, and it's a great record. Great late night spin, in my opinion. You know, a very cheap one to get, $5-10 at most usually. Would highly recommend picking this up if you don't know it or don't have it. Next up, we've got kind of a pair that go together. It's by the same artist. The first one being Jazz Impressions by Vince Guaraldi. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And then we've got Jazz Impressions of Black Orpheus on here, or more commonly known as Cast Your Fate to the Wind because of the hit song off of here. Original stereo pressing, this one is super clean. Original mono pressing, I think it's a third pressing because of the different text right here, and then it also has the Cast Your Fate to the Wind up here. This is a phenomenal record, just Latin-y, jazzy record, very vibey, very chilled out. This is a compilation of his trio work. Excuse me. Bought these on different days. Found this first, so I was like, oh, I'll buy the compilation. That's good enough for me. Then I found this, and this was cheap, so I was like, I'm going to get this too, because this record is also really great. If you don't know Vince Guaraldi, he is the guy who did all the music for the Peanuts. Like, one really popular album that comes up every year is the Peanuts Christmas album. Prices just start whenever Christmas comes around for originals. A great pianist. Played with Cal Jader for a while, so very Latin-y vibe a lot of the time, but also a lot of cool boppiness to that sound. Really great stuff. Very chill stuff. Speaking of chill, we have got The In Sound by Eddie Harris. This is a phenomenal soul jazz album. The lineup on here is super killer. You've got Eddie Harris on tenor, Cedar Walton on piano, Ron Carter on bass, Billy Higgins on drums, and then Ray Codrington on trumpet on a few songs. This album is killer. You know, Eddie Harris, sometimes he doesn't get talked about a lot because his stuff is common. Eddie Harris is a really interesting player. I mean, he was doing a lot of different things that people were not doing. No one else would do. Not so much on this record, but like the electrifying Eddie Harris using an electric sax. Who else was really doing that at the time? Not many people. But this has got to be his best album. I mean, this album is insanely good. This is an original mono pressing on Atlantic. A good cheap heat one, seriously. If you like soul jazz, really chill jazz with amazing players, it's all in here, right here. Speaking of amazing players too, that transitions into Trident by McCoy Tyner on Milestone. You've got McCoy Tyner on piano, Ron Carter on bass, and Elvin Jones on drums. I will buy anything with Elvin Jones on it. He is absolutely my favorite drummer. I love everything that he does. Now, this one I found, maybe someone can clarify this for me. It says promotional copy, or promotion, not for sale, but it does not say that anywhere on the label. Now, I know not every label would put promotion only or whatever on their labels as well. This one does not have it. Just a normal label. So I don't know if it's actually a promo or not. I don't really care, but it's cool to know, I guess. Anyways, great album. Probably one of my favorite on Milestone from McCoy Tyner, if not my favorite. Really great, just modal, intense playing here. It's, with those three people, I mean, it's hard not to get that, to play that way, I guess. Like, I'm sure McCoy was like, oh, these are my boys. We got to go hard. It's a great album. It's cheap. You should pick it up if you ever see it. We've got another twofer here. But a little story behind these. I had actually found out about these albums like last week. Someone posted them on Instagram. I was like, that's really interesting. And then I got around to watching the Fire Music documentary. It's actually streaming on the Criterion channel right now, if you're interested. Um, it's all about like the history of avant-garde jazz and, you know, free jazz and the key players in that. Really great. I loved how it didn't focus so much on just John Coltrane or, you know, all the players we know. I learned a lot from that documentary about free, like the avant-garde scene and the free jazz scene. A lot of players I didn't know before. But in that documentary, these sessions were talked about. So it was just funny that I like found out about the album, heard about it in the documentary, and then I found a couple of them. And I am talking about the Wildflower Sessions, the New York, excuse me, the New York Loft Jazz Sessions. Now there are 5 of these records. I have found 1 and 4. They're on this later Douglas label, but these are phenomenal. You know, I'm not a big free jazz head. I like free jazz, some of it, not all of it. Like, I have a hard time with Unit Structures by Cecil Taylor and like Ascension by John Coltrane. Those are really rough on my ears. These, however, are amazing. These are phenomenal sessions. You know, sometimes it gets out there, but in my opinion, it never gets too far out there. It still keeps a lot of cohesion, but these are great for the value, and they're just historic, you know, documentations of what was happening in New York at the time. They're also cool because, yes, there's 5 records, and there's so many different players on them. Like, I swear, each song has different players, for the most part. You know, a lot of them did cross over into songs, but, like, you get a lot of different players here. A lot of variety, really good playing. Highly, highly recommend this series. Go check it out if you don't know it. It's great, the Wildflower series. Up next is one that I've been looking for quite some time. And that is Bags Meets Wes. This is an original stereo pressing on Riverside. Just a phenomenal album. These two are just killing it on this album. They go great together. I've been after a copy of this for a while. I've seen a lot of OJCs of it, but I really wanted an original. And I got this the same day as the very last record I will show. Just a fun record. It is just a great, great record. You've got Milt Jackson on vibes, Wes on guitar, Wynton Kelly on piano, Sam Jones on bass, and Philly Joe Jones on drums. What's not to love? Fun record, great playing, easily gettable for a good price on Discogs, in person. Highly recommend this record. Underrated. Sorry, but it is. Speaking of underrated, tell me this isn't underrated. Nobody talks about this the way they should. So one of the channels I mentioned earlier, Dan's Vinyl Corner, he inspired me to finally get a copy of this. Because this is an immensely underrated album. It's up there as one of Coltrane's best, in my opinion. Not far behind A Love Supreme. This is an amazing, amazing, amazing modal session with the quartet. It's his first Impulse release, and nobody talks about it, and I don't know why. This is an amazing album. Now, I have a story behind this record. I ordered 2 copies of this. One for a nice cover, which was this one, and one for a nice vinyl so I could put them together. This is a 63 press, by the way. Both of them are. I don't have the other one yet. It's still coming in the mail, but I still thought I'd show this because this jacket was described as VG+, which it looks that way. Now, I got the record and had a big tear down here and a little bit on the top. The record was shipped inside the jacket. I am not sure if the record did it. I'm not sure if it just wasn't disclosed. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta figure out something with this. I'd like to keep the cover still because the other one has water damage, but the seller might just want the whole thing back. We'll figure it out. Regardless, I wanted to show it because I really wanted to express how great this album is and how much everybody should listen to it if you're into Coltrane at all, if you have not heard it. Great album. Let you guys know what I end up doing with that. Okay, we're getting in the home stretch. We got 4 records left. Really big, crazy, good records. 3 of them are from my dude Twan. So thanks Twan again. Seriously. First up, The Jewel and the Lotus by Benny Maupin on ECM. Been on my list forever. Twan grabbed this one for me at a local store. I couldn't go, I was working. What a great session this is. Super unique. Even for ECM in my opinion, for the most part. Benny Maupin's debut album as a leader, and it's spiritual, it's a bit avant-garde, it's modal, it's a lot of ambient music in it. It's a great record. It's super heavy on like the vibes, not the actual vibraphone, but like the vibes that emanate from it. This is a great record. If you're not aware of this record, listen to it. It is a bit on the tough to find side, so I'm very stoked I have a copy of this finally. Phenomenal record. Very, very happy to have this in my collection. Next up, you guys might remember me showing this one in my last video. Gene Russell, Talk to My Lady on Black Jazz. Well, now I have New Direction by Gene Russell, the very first album ever put out on Black Jazz. This is an original pressing with the tan label, just like the other ones. A great record. Less on the funky side, more on the honestly the hard boppy, somewhat modally side of things. Just a phenomenal record. Gene Russell's great. These are the only 2 that he put out on Black Jazz, but they're both phenomenal albums. I am a huge, huge fan of the Black Jazz catalog. I'm really hoping to get a lot more of those releases, but we'll see. New Direction. Just reissued this, I think, last year. Pick it up. We're down to the last 2. 2 big ones. 2 that have been on my want list for a very long time. Very, very long time. The first one being I Can't Stand the Rain by Peebles. The first time I ever heard this song, I was like, what is that? The title track, I Can't Stand the Rain. I was like, that is amazing. I love that. Ever since then, it's been on my wish list. And this is the only copy I've ever seen. And again, you guys can school me on this. I'm not quite sure. It says promotional copy, but there is nothing on the labels. I checked out Al Green releases, and his also didn't say anything on the labels for the promo copy. So I don't know whether to call this a promo or not. It's cool though. I like having the sticker there, but it's also super clean. The vinyl and the jacket, like, not a lot of wear there. Sorry for the glare. It's nighttime. Great, great soul record. Funky soul record. That's what else would you expect from High Records? You know, they put out Peebles. They put out Al Green's records. Great stuff right here. I'm so happy to have this in my collection finally. Been a long time coming. Very, very stoked on that. And last but not least, I also got this one this weekend. Just, again, it's the same thing as the Nick Drake. It was just random. A shop had posted it on their story. I wasn't originally going to go, and then I decided to purge some stuff, and I just took some trades with me, and I got most of this paid for. And it's a really nice copy. That is The Sidewinder by Lee Morgan. Original mono pressing, Blue Note, with Plastilite ear, RVG in the grooves, or in the runouts. Sounds great. It's super clean. Been looking for this for a very long time. Finally have a copy, let alone a clean copy. It's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm super happy to have this. I got this at Beats and Bohos in Seattle. Another thing too is, if you guys ever come to Seattle and you wanted some recommendations on record stores, feel free to come and talk to me. I go to them all. Great record. I don't really know what else to say about this that hasn't been said. Everybody knows this record for the most part. If you're even remotely into jazz, just happy I finally have a copy. Excuse me, I burped again. happy to have a copy. Anyway, again, thank you to everybody for everything. You guys are great, really great. I seriously appreciate just how nice everybody is in this community. I appreciate, you know, all the comments, all the likes, all of that stuff. You guys are all seriously great. Go check out the channels that I mentioned earlier. Both of those guys are great. They have great channels. Yeah. Hope you guys are doing good. I hope everybody's staying safe, relaxed. Hopefully things aren't too stressful. But I'll see you guys again soon. I don't know when. Hopefully you guys will still come back. See you guys then.